Okay, you guys, so this is going to be the beginning of the event with the Hatter family. So it picks up right where we left off. And she's like, ... I'll be free soon. When I told them this, my fellow attendees looked back on me. A simple goodbye greeting and I leave Hard Castle. Rather than this being like taking a break, I feel more tired than before I left. ... And then now we're going back to the Hatter Mansion to trigger their event before the routes. And Elliot caught up to her as soon as she came back. He's like, slow down, Alice. He tells her, I'm worried. If you're late, just let me know. Just put it in, because he's her boss. And upon returning, she received a warm welcome. If you think about it, a lot of time has passed. I ate up my time mainly in the forest of the old amusement park, she thinks. And you spent 3 time zones during the time zone change to see cats and mice chasing, ... on her moments with Pierce in video 3 of events. She's like, I think it was a very meaningful time, ... More bland than ever before, it was a blank time for me, and I'm staying here at the Hatter house, so it's a rare kind of time for me, she thinks. And she's like, you can either choose I want to relax elsewhere top, or I still like it here, the bottom choice. And I actually chose the bottom choice, so we're gonna do that. I like it here. And then there are also problems that aren't mentally right here, but more of a problem is myself, who thinks that it is even more fun that way. She's like, even if you're seeing them have mentally demanding or busy attitudes, you still like Hatter's house. She's like, I think the people who live in the same place as me are important to me. And then she's like, I feel like this is also my biggest problem. I like this place and I like the people who live here. I don't want to watch it or be here all the time, even though I'm soothed with such a comical chase. Or she was talking about having like breaks. She's like, I don't want to watch that kind of thing all the time, even though I'm soothed by it with such a comical chase. Even if you feel that your leisure time is meaningful, there is more time that you think is more important than that, and she's like, the time here. And she's like, I wonder if I was poisoned, ... Because she's like, this is unlike me. Elliot's commenting that he felt it in his heart, Alice. It's the first time that you were here during a move, and there's something that could have happened. So if you're gone, ... like they were worried. She's like, sorry, ... And then Dee actually comments that he's an annoying rabbit for doing this. Dumb cuts in, he's like, that's right, brother, all rabbits are sick. Oh, but my sister, I was worried too. And Dee's like, I was worried too, yes. He's like, can you comfort me? Can you take care of me, please?
そうだよ。かまってかまって。僕ら子供なんだからかまってくれなくちゃ。置いていくなんてひどいよ。
And then Dum's like, that's right, because we are children, you have to take care of us. She's like, I'm sorry, dot, dot, dot. When you are here, you don't have time to be dim-witted, she thinks.
うざいのはてめえらだ。ガキ。
Elliot tells them that you're really terrible brats.
うるさいなウサギ。うざウサギ。動物のくせに子供に歯向かうなよ。
These like noisy rabbits, don't face us kids in spite of being an animal.
どうでもいいけど、うざウサギって言いにくいね。
And then they're making digs at him. Dum's like, and I don't care, dot, dot, dot. But it's hard to say that a hare isn't a rabbit, because he likes to deny it. So they're like making little small digs because he called them brats. And then she's like, yes, I don't care either, dot, dot, dot. She's like, don't get caught up with this and say too much. You're going to end up using dirty words, she tells them, dot, 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 scoldingly. And she's like, by the way, I'm saying that. So she's like trying to get their attention, all like caps there. She's like, however, the twins speak badly enough for me to notice. Because she's like, normally I don't care, but they're saying bad things right now. So she's like yelling at them. And she's like, is it really a bad word though, the word rabbit? But they're speaking ill of him, right? Question mark, she thinks it fits, but Elliot doesn't like it, and that's why they're saying bad things. She's like, it's just that I'm talking about ecosystems here, but it's also bad that they're like instigating.
はいはい。僕らいい子だからちゃんとお姉さんに言うことを聞くよ。
So the twins respond, yes, 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 because we are good boys, we will listen to you, and you are our sister. So they're like, we'll stop.
僕らはいい子。僕もいい子にするよ。褒めて褒めて。かまってかまって。
And the twins are continuing to like respond, yeah, we're good boys and we'll be good boys for you, so you'll praise us for a long time. And she's like, yes, 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 dot, dot, dot. She's like mouthy and bad-mannered as well as cheeky, but it's cute for me that they're like this because they are such children. They make me want to take care of them.
子供扱いされて喜んでるんじゃねえよ。だから相手にされねえんだって。
Elliot's like, I'm not happy to be treated as a child this way, so I can't be a partner to this, dot, dot, dot. And she's like, Elliot too, don't speak like that, dot, 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 so she scolds him.
怒るなよ。
After a pause, Elliot tells her, don't get angry, Alice. And Blood's trolling in the background laughing. She's like, what, dot, dot, dot.
いやいや、すっかり母親役が身についているじゃないか。
He's still trolling, and Blood laughs in the background while stating, I think you've got a mother's role here. She's like, Mom, what a little I am, dot, dot, dot. And she's like, however, the current role is exactly, dot, dot, dot. I don't like being a mother, she tells him.
おや、嫌なら私の妻役でも務めるか、奥さん。
He trolls here hardcore and is kind of savage. He's like, oh, well, if you don't like that, would you also serve as my wife? Wife? And he calls her. She's like, I hate that more.
釣れない居候だな。
Blood's like, foo, 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 it's bad either way. Dot, dot, dot.
それで、散策した結果どうだった？この世界における引っ越しというものは理解できたかな？
He asks her, so how was the result of taking a walk? Did you understand moving in this world? Dot, dot, dot. She's like, yeah, of course. And then she's like, in large caps, I don't understand it at all. She's like, can you understand it? Large letters.
おや、
理解できないとは賢い君にしては珍しい。
Blood's like, oh, what I can't understand is that it's rare for you to not understand it. And she's like, ... he's an annoying landlord, ... In addition, Blood has to know everything out there. She mentions, I don't know for some reason, but the amusement park and the clock tower have disappeared, and I don't know for some reason, but it changed to a strange place like a forest and a Clover tower, ... she tells him. And I don't know for some reason, but I have a feeling of this being a completely different city. She's like, the amusement park disappeared with Gallon and the employees, and only Boris was here staying. The whole clock tower disappeared, and Julius is now missing, she mentions. A mouse like a bear is in the forest. A big physical nightmare and a gray bodyguard caretaker stay in a tower like the clock tower. She's like, only people who I do not know are in this town. This is what I can understand with my poor understanding. If your knowledge exceeds this, that would be refreshing, she tells him after a pause. And without my knowing this, Blood already seems to know. So whether it is common sense unique to this world, or the owner knows things that he has not seen, is left unsaid.
なんだ、わかっているじゃないか。十分に理解できている。
He asks her, why don't you understand then? I think that's understanding enough. She's like, I don't know, for some reason.
なんだか
Exasperated.
よくわからなくとも理解できていれば問題ないさ。
He comments that it's okay if that's all you understand. What you don't understand is fine. And she's like, I don't think I understand that. And she's like, as a valid reason. And she's like, what I am doing is trying to understand the situation. And she's like, I'm not understanding, like, why this would happen. In terms of understanding, I don't feel refreshed, and I don't want to actually understand in the end. Because it's just confusing for her.
モリス残ってたんだ。あいつよく弾かれるんだよね。
They comment that she stayed out playing with Boris. They're like, oh, so you left with Boris? He's often playing with you.
猫だから弾かれるのかな。猫かわいそうだから遊んであげようね、兄弟。
They're asking like each other, like, hey brother, I wonder if they play together because he's a cat, or if like we all play together because he's a cat.
遊んであげよう。ネズミがいたの。じゃあ、ボリスと一緒にネズミで遊ぼうよ、兄弟。
So he's like talking to his brother. He's like, brother, yeah, let's go play with him. And he's like, did you have a mouse? Like, he has a mouse. Well, then let's go play with the mouse with Boris, brother.
いいね、いいね、兄弟。ネズミで遊ぶのは面白いよね。僕、ネズミで遊ぶの好きだな。
So they're commenting back and forth about playing, which is like equivalent to bullying for them. He's like, yeah, nice, brother. Playing with mice is interesting. I like playing with mice. She's like, playing with a mouse. Somehow this sounds cruel, ... You don't know what they're doing, and you don't want to know these children, ... It was a bad thing to say. The mouse is a mouse, but the child is also a humanoid mouse, too. So he's like a human, and they're planning to bully him. She's like, that's right, a mouse that is not a normal mouse. It's a humanoid mouse, she tells them. She's like, I wonder if this is a bad idea, and then she calls for Elliot.
なんで俺に聞くんだよ。
Elliot's like, question mark, question mark, question mark, why are you asking me? She's like, I think it's a bad idea to say that it's a normal mouse, ...
俺はあんたに怒ったりしないぜ。
And he's like, you're not mad, are you? Question mark. She's like, liar. Because I think he was angry earlier and she was asking him about it, but it didn't translate well. Because she called him a liar there, and she's like, rabbits are angry creatures, ... Anyway, the mouse I'm talking about is not an ordinary mouse, but a person, and I wonder if it's a mouse or like a mouse human. And it's about that, my questions. But that's all that I have for you. Because they had asked her, like, how everything went when she went out. And she's like, this is what puzzled her. In the world I was originally from, whether it was a mouse or not a mouse, it would seem that what I had in my head would have changed anyway. So, like, her perception, like what she's used to, she'll have to get used to something else. She's like, it's not uncommon to see war in this world, too. Because of the territory disputes.
普通じゃないネズミか。
Dee's like, so it's an unusual mouse, ...
どんなネズミだった？いいネズミ？悪いネズミ？
Dum's like, well, what kind of mouse was that? A good mouse? A bad mouse? She's like, I don't know if it's a good or bad mouse. It was a noisy mouse for sure. And she's like, Boris was chasing it around.
ああ、そのネズミなら知ってるよ。ピアスビリエでしょ？悪いネズミだよ。頭の悪いネズミ。
Dee mentions, oh, well, I know that rat. Is it like Villers, Pierce Villers, a sad mouse and a clever mouse?
頭のいいネズミなんていないけどね。でも、あいつはネズミの中でも格別に頭悪いよね。遊ぶにはうってつけだけど。
Dum's like, I don't think we have a clever mouse, but he's really smart among the mice. She's like, do you know Pierce? ... And she mentions, that's not good, saying such bad things ... Also, it is subtle whether or not being a mouse is bad, but it's bad to call it a bad mouse, just because it is one. She's like, not smart ... but well ... So she can't, like, argue that. She's like, please tell me ... Sorry. Yes ... And I'm getting worse at this, she thinks. What's wrong ... with me ... She's like, only I can educate these children that populate in this mansion. Because she's like, both adults and children alike are still children. She's the only one that's, like, sane. Elliot is like an older brother, but he doesn't give up just because she makes noise and protests. He just drinks tea and doesn't listen to her about this kind of stuff. If Elliot is an older brother, he is like a grandfather, and as I said, there is no parent other than me that populates here or stays in the residence. She's like, they are holding a personality that does a quick turn for all of them, but that's not for me. And she's like, this is a decent world, but there are still many things that you can't overlook them doing here. She's like, I remember Gray, who was taking care of Nightmare. Is this the same unavoidable fate in the direction that I'm going? And she's like, is this not good? Like, this is not a good thing.
君のあったネズミ。ピアスビリエは私たちファミリーの一員だ。
Blood cuts in. He's like the mouse that you met. He is one of Pierce Villers. And she's like, until then, Blood, who had been making noise in the background, opened up to the room. She's like, ... And then she's like, family, yeah, that child. One of the members of the Mafia, you say, is that mouse? Exclamation mark, question. She's like, the mouse is in the Mafia, ... Mafia? It's creepy because this is almost like a fairy tale, she thinks. But isn't it strange that the rabbit is number 2? So she's questioning, like, the validity of this statement, but then remembers Elliot is the number 2 in the Mafia. She's like, unintentionally, I will take a look at Elliot, rather than at him, mainly at his head, where his ears are. She's like, because and then Elliot responds back to her stare. He's like, question mark? You bring your eyes back to Blood before you ask about it.
そう。彼はうちのファミリーの一員なんだ。家族であり、他人であり、私の手足のうちの一人。
He tells her, yes, he's a part of our family. Family, others, is in one of my limbs. She's like, someone else in the family? It's just like Blood to say this. She's like, but you have never seen him before, question mark? Is it the same person in the end that we're talking about? She's like, Blood's minions seem to be surprising, but I don't know them in detail. It was my first time meeting Pierce. At least, I have never seen the mouse in the mansion.
ああ、君が来る前に組織から離れたからな。引っ越しの際には弾かれて、住む世界が分かれることもある。
He tells her that, oh, well, that's because he left the organization before you came here, and he's referencing in the first game. So when you move, you may actually be stuck in some place, and the world that you lived in may be separated from you. So he's explaining that Pierce got left behind, basically in Clover Town, or Clover Country, when they had their last move. So, like, when they appeared in Heart Country, where she appeared also, Pierce wasn't there. He doesn't explain in so many words, but that's what he's telling her. And she's like, oh, does that mean that you can leave the organization? Or, like, does that mean that you left the organization, ... She's like, trying to show off my Mafia life half knowledge. Although I belong to this resident, my insight is only in a book-like sense, such as my knowledge on Mafia. And exiting is so easy to do, she's wondering, question mark, ... It's against code, right? ...
仁義だとか、えらくまた古風な。
So Blood actually cuts in and he's like, you have a misconception here. He's like, ha ha ha, you're calling it like that and then trying to be self-righteous.
どこの話だか。マフィアはそんなくだらないルールを持っていないよ、お嬢さん。
He tells her, where are you getting what you're talking about? The Mafia doesn't have such a silly rule, young lady.
うちのファミリーにもない。本の読みすぎだ。
He tells her there is no unbreakable family, and the book here is too magical, so he's talking about, like, the tale here, Wonderland. And she's like, moo, it must be in a book that you need to lend to me. She's like, there was no book about Mafia in the books that I read from him, and I thought it was something like that, but that it wasn't so easy to leave, ...
マフィアというのはビジネスなんだ。利害の結びつきが最も強い。
He tells her that the Mafia is a business. The strongest ties are actually that ...
そして上下関係。結びつきを強めるために血縁で語れる場合もあるが。
He tells her in the hierarchical relationship here, in order to strengthen the connection, it may be solidified with blood relatives, and then he laughs, like after a long pause. My words were much more interesting for Blood, and he seemed to fit in to the key points, so that's why he's talking now about this stuff. She's like, is it such a laughing matter? I don't think it's the same thing as the image of a background society that most people have, she questions. And I'm going to go ahead and end the video here because the next one is going to be the last sequence before we start Pierce's route. And it's basically their explanation on, like, what happens when you leave, and then also, like, on his character and his actual role. So that basically also ties into his route, so I'll probably leave that opening event in there when I do it. So here we go, you guys.